sequestration of the witnesses, and I will leave it up to the parties to ensure that that order is enforced. And if there's nothing further, will you call your first witness?
We'll call Ms. Hogg-Watley.
Yeah. You can't communicate. And if you can't smack your lips, either cool. Just relax. Go. Maybe you could approach.
I think
Oh,
not
that's not her. POC swam through this. There's- Yeah, if you could approach. And pause right in front of me. And then raise your right hand for me. You do solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and what to do so.
Yes.
Okay, line right up here. Have a seat right there.
Good afternoon. Have a seat, and then you can ask me questions. Think of any time you need a moment, just let me know, okay? If you don't understand a question, just ask Ms. Wainwright or Mr. Robinson for the question. All right, Ms. Wainwright, your witness.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Can you please state your name and spell the whole thing for the record?
Oh,
No,
yeah,
very
could I have
responsible.
you go closer to the mic? All right, you want to repeat that again, please? Excuse me, Ms. Wainwright. Young man, will you please set up? Thank you. Go ahead. Ms. Wainwright.
And what about your last name?
Hoggs Watley, Hoggs Watley.
All right, Ms. Hogg-Watley, how old are you?
23.
Okay. And do you know a person by the name of Jordan Stevens?
Yeah,
How do you know that person?
my ex
Ex what?
boyfriend.
Ex-boyfriend. And how long were you in a dating relationship with this ex-boyfriend?
Last year, February.
All right, is that when it started?
Yeah,
And when did it, or how long did it last? Was it a month, a year?
a little over a year.
All right, and did you live together or did you live separately?
Together.
Was that an on and off kind of thing?
Yes.
All right. I want to take you back to the date of May 29th of 2024. Do you recall making contact with the police at your residence? And was that a residence located at 3871 Bower Drive, Apartment 5?
Yes.
And that's in Carrollton Township in Saginaw, Michigan?
Yes.
All right. And back on May 29th, when you made contact with police there, were you living at that apartment alone or with anyone else?
Hello.
You said alone?
Yes.
Okay. And on that date, what's the reason you made contact with police? You said you and Jordan got into an altercation?
Yep. That seems to be the issue. Come on up. So it's my understanding that there's going to be a waiver of the preliminary exam.
Correct, Your Honor.
Correct, Your Honor.
Just sit down.
No, no.
No, we're not done yet. Oh, we are not done yet, young man. Okay, first address the issue of the waiver. So, Mr. Stevens, it's my understanding that you wish to waive your right to the examination that we were in the middle of. Is that correct? Is that yes?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Thank you. So let me just go through that you do have the right to a preliminary exam where it must be shown that a crime was committed and probable cause exists to charge you with the crime. By waiving means now that you voluntarily waive your right to the examination that we were in, and you understand now you'd be bound over to circuit court on the charges in the complaint warrant. And you agree with that as well? Is that yes? Is that, I need that on the record.
Yes.
Thank you. Court then determines the waiver to be knowingly, voluntarily, and understandingly provided. Now, understanding that the defendant is about to be bound over, I wish to address this conduct in today's proceedings. First of all, is there anything further from the people?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. Stevens, why am I getting somewhat of your, feeling some of your attitude here today?
Sorry.
I can appreciate that. Going forward, however, does not go unnoticed. When I look at your prior record, I do see that there was, you had a prior intimate partner abuse case with regard to over in Judge Fickner's courtroom. I also see that you have other matters, some traffic, but I also see that you had other more serious cases. Just know your bond will be the same. Just remember that should you make bond, should it be changed at all, that you must enroll in CST counseling. Regularly. CST counseling, should you make bond. Should you not address that, if you are released, then your bond will be revoked. Anything else, Mr. Robinson?
Nothing further.
Anything else?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
So we're waiting for DLC to show.
Mine is here.
Okay. Who is on the Martinez matter? Mr. Cotton?
It is.
Oh, do you know, Mr. Sol, do you know what we're gonna do on this case? If you had a chance to,
Sounds like we're gonna run it, Your Honor.
all right then, very well.
Your Honor, I have Mr. Turner. I know Aaron Courtney was talking to him. It might be a waiver. We'll see. Mr. Turner is assuming at 2:45.
John, are you marking anything? John,
Well, let
are
me,
you marking anything?
do you know what the file number is, just in case the bailiff court mislabeled it?
34:15.
34.
34:15.
Did you say Turner?
Turner, Jesse Turner.
Oh, yeah.
Coltrane.
Yep, and the bailiff court did, they had it under Mr. Sherman. Well, we're close.
He had all on his mind, right?
I believe we're running the exam, so if you just want to take more of the table. Good afternoon, DOT.
Does anybody in the courtroom, just no communication, with anybody in the courtroom, so you're gonna pop on the cab?
We have Mr. Martinez present. Guess we're taking a minute to find out what we're gonna do.
Who's the prosecutor?
Mr. Cullen. I guess we'll have to reset his traffic matters for a later time.
He's gonna be here for a while.
Oh, did he? Oh,
Oh, yeah. He had attitude of,
He has attitude up there too. That's what Andrew says.
all right.
he got some
He
issues.
just does.
You ready for me to call the case?
Can I have like 2 seconds to talk, I think, about that?
Yes.
Thank you.
You gonna call him?
Going back on the record. Going back on the record on Martinez on 241930, from the people.
Your Honor, after consulting with the victim, we're gonna dismiss, reissue, and further investigation. This one.
All right. Anything else what you saw?
That's all, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, we'll sign the dismissal when I get it. And dismiss without prejudice.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, DLC, thank you for coming today.
Thank you.
Mr. Coltrane around?
Hi, Your Honor.
Okay, are you ready for me to call Mr. Turner's case?
Hi, Your Honor.
All right. And I'll call the matter of People versus Turner on 243458. Here's for the record, begin with government.
Leslie Cardona for the people.
Hey, good afternoon, Your Honor. Aaron Coltrane on behalf of Mr. Justin Turner. He is the defendant in this matter. He is staying in my immediate left of the hearing box.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Turner. What are we doing today?
Your Honor, it's the date and time set for the preliminary examination in this matter. I discussed it with my client. At this time, knowing he has the right to preliminary examination, he agreed to waive that right. He's agreed to be bound over to circuit court for further proceedings.
People have no objection.
All right, then, Mr. Turner, let me then read you the portion that your attorney has already talked about with you. That is that you do have the right to preliminary exam, so it must be shown that a crime has been committed and that there is sufficient evidence to charge you with the crime or to link you with the crime. By waiving means now you'll not have that hearing to determine whether or not probable cause exists. You'll understand now you'll be bound over to circuit court for all future proceedings. And you agree with that as well? Okay. The court then determines the waiver to be knowingly, voluntarily, and understandingly provided. Will present the bind over. Turner's signature. Is there anything else from the people?
I'm not gonna go there.
Anything else from the defense?
I just wanted to address the bond very
Okay.
quickly.
Yeah, we'll get it. Let's get the paperwork taken care of. Okay, Esteban.
Your Honor, after talking to Mr. Turner, I also spoke to his parole agent, Agent Johnson. It's made known to me that there is a parole hold on Mr. Turner. However, he's not even available to them. It would be my understanding that he would need a bond first in order, whether it be a PR bond or something he needs proposed. Once that was completed, he would then be available to NGOC for them to write the report and move forward with any violation process. What I'd be asking for, Judge, I do understand that the last bond that I did see on here was at 30,000, 10%, I believe. The fact that Mr. Turner isn't going to get out one way or the other, he did waive. We are cooperating. We plan on resolving this in circuit court and respectfully be requesting a PR bond or a nominal amount bond in order for him to post it, which would then, of course, make him available to NGOC.
Your Honor, I would note that he was on absconding status at the time of this offense from MDOC. I'm afraid that if he does get some sort of bond, that I don't know if he would make himself available. And I was talking with Mr. Weissable from MDOC, and he advised me that if the court did grant some sort of bond, it would then go to Lansing, and Lansing would defer to the court. Is that my understanding?
Yes, Your Honor, once he becomes available and we make our recommendation, the recommendation, in this case, for felon in possession of ammunition would probably be and I can't say 100%, but it would probably be a defer to court once it gets up to.
I'm just going through his, at least what I have on it. So the 10%, so You just need to. I know that it was less than what the people recommended in their bond recommendation.
I believe that's accurate, Judge. I believe it wasn't still 30,000. I'm looking at the register of actions, that's what it should be.
It was.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
I'm a little worried though if he was on a absconder status.
Excuse me, Your Honor. I was not on absconding status. When I turned myself in, I had no warrants. But I did have a police report on me that someone called and I told them I was not absconding anymore. I went to report on my regular report that I reported every Thursday.
Let me do this. I will, take it under advisement. Let me just check some things out.
Of course.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
We'll get that done before.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, are we ready? Anyone else?
I think.
I don't have anybody.
It says, yes,
No,
or is
I
the
don't have
attorney?
anyone.
Who's that?
Foreman.
Foreman is coming. He's DOC.
He's in here. And,
No, he's in Gladys County Jail. But he's supposed to be on,
Oh, he's on Zoom.
he's
All right.
supposed to be.
So we just got DOC on.
Oh, there's Gladwin County.
Swanigan.
Do we have Mr. Yancy?
Mr. Yes is not here.
Ladea's here.
For yes, sir?
Yep. And
Where's Mr.
she's back there probably talking to DOC Swagman coming in.
Swanigan.
Swanigan.
Something with it.
Oh, hey, Greg.
Hello, Gladwin County, gateway to the north. Oh, Gladwin County, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Oh, no. Here he is. There you are.
Are you Mr. Foreman?
Oh,
Yep. All right, Mr. Foreman, we're just waiting for your attorney. And as soon as your attorney gets here, we will call the case so Gladwin can get their communication device and move it on to another person.
Okay, was back there. Evelyn? Yeah, she's still back there. I think.
Who is this for?
The Swanigan.
Oh. Hang on, I got my, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. You're welcome.
You talk to your attorney? That's what's 15. Oh, what's that?
Yeah, we got it on.
attorneys with our clients, clients with other attorneys.
Well,
Right.
mine's at 3:15 and my client is pulling into the parking lot as we speak.
As soon as your client gets here, we will
Thank you.
get you on your way. Let's call.
She's early.
I know.
Ma'am.
In the matter of People versus Aaron on 243394, appearances for the record.
Good afternoon, Your Honor, John Cowden on behalf of the people.
James Johnson, the this error was present for my left. Today's the time and date set for preliminary examination. However, we've reached a negotiated settlement. And then my client's going to be pleading guilty to certain one count, one felonies, conflict subject to 30 seconds. Two, then one felony of financial transaction commissions. The remaining count will be dismissed. Also, prosecution agreed to put this under the delayed sentence, which you have no prior record. In addition, the client also agrees to pay restitution to the amount left up to the discretion of the court.
Oh, all right. So and there's no objection from the people. So, Ms. Aaron, understanding that you do have the right to further exam, which your attorney explained, that it is at this point where the prosecution must show, one, that a crime was committed, and that there is a sufficient amount of evidence to link you to the charging of that crime. By waiving means you'll not have that hearing and be bound over to circuit court for all future proceedings. And you agree with that as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. The court determines the waiver to be normally, voluntarily, understanding that provided will present the bind over for the party signature. Bind over having been presented, is there anything further?
No, thank you.
Says that bond will continue.
Bond will be continued.
The neighbor for both my client and myself. Yeah. The waiver of the real examination of the courts.
All right, then. Take care. Are you ready on Foreman?
I am, Your Honor.
Okay, so let me call Mr. Foreman's case. In the matter of People versus Foreman on 241884, appearances for the record.
I guess I'm not sure the prosecutor is, Your Honor. It's also at 3 o'clock.
I'll stand in for it. John Cowden on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Emily White standing in for Attorney Answer on behalf of Mr. Brandon Sporman. Your Honor, today's the date and time for the preliminary exam. I believe we have all discovery. If we don't, then we will reach out to the prosecutor's office. I just want to make sure I have the best address and phone number for Mr. Sporman, and we'll be in touch.
All right. Mr. Sporman, how long are you gonna be up there to the gateway to the North Country?
What was that? Sorry, it's echoey in here. I can't really.
What are you getting out of Gladwin?
I get sentenced on July 15th, so at least here till then.
Okay. Try and get that, as soon as possible.
Make sure we make a visit out to Mr. Sporman. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, then. All right, your attorney will be in contact with you. Take care, Mr. Sporman.
But I need just.
Thank you, Gladwin County. All right. Now, let's
DOC,
see.
he's gonna come on over here. Foreman, come on this way, for Swanigan. Gonna walk in between right here. Have a seat, Mr. Right here, your attorney. Brown. Nope, walk right, yep, walk right around.
Good afternoon, DOC. Thank you for coming. Good afternoon, Mr. Swanigan. Are we ready to call this matter?
We are here.
In the matter of People versus Swanigan on 234980, appearances for the record.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Counsel for the record, Dan Miller.
Good afternoon. I'm Relied on behalf of Mr. Swanigan, who stands to my right at the defense table.
All right, and what are we doing today?
Today, we're running the preliminary exam, Your Honor.
Are there any preliminary matters that need to be made aware of?
None from the people, it's a one witness exam.
None from defense, Your Honor.
All right, then. Please call your first witness.
Thank you. This time the people will call corrections officer Newbecker.
Officer, you can approach.
And then pause right in front of me, right by this black mic, and then raise the right hand for me. You do solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and the truth, so help you God. See right in the black chair.
I didn't hear.
When you get seated, just say yes. Acknowledge your own. Yes.
Good afternoon.
Your witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Officer, good afternoon. Your full name for the record, please.
Jacob Newbecker,
Current occupation
Corrections Officer,
and with what agency?
Michigan Department of Corrections at Saginaw Regional Facility.
Okay, and that's located in Fremont?
Yes.
We can agree that's in Saginaw County, Michigan.
For how long have you been self-employed?
It's been 2.5 years now.
Okay, so if my math is correct. Were you working a shift on September 2nd, 2023?
I was.
And in the course of your duties, did you have occasion to come into contact with an inmate by the name of Nathaniel Swanigan?
Correct.
And is that person present in the courtroom?
Yes.
Would you indicate for the court where he is seated and what he's wearing?
Right there in blues.
Record reflect ID, Your Honor?
Shall reflect the identification.
And specifically, what shift were you working
I was on night shift,
on? Okay,
6 p.m. to 6 a.m.
okay, thank you. And approximately, did you have occasion to be involved or come into contact with the defendant, Swanigan?
I worked in 500 a couple of times, so yes.
Okay, let's focus on that night. Did you have occasion to have an interaction?
Yes, during a home break.
Okay, and what was it that, what did you initially observe, if anything, that caused you to further interact?
My partner indicated to go over to the day room, and I looked over and saw the Swanigan over there with a prisoner stoner.
Okay, and did you have occasion to, at all, to observe any video or anything of the defendant?
Yes, I watched the video of it.
Okay, and what, if anything, did the video show you?
It showed prisoner Swanigan using closed fists, appeared something in his hand in a downward stepping.
Okay, and when he was using that, or making that motion with the object, was he involved in any way physically with another inmate?
He was holding on to prisoner stoner at the moment.
Okay, now after, and did you subsequently intervene?
Right when I saw that, I walked over to the day room.
And about how long did it take for you to get from your observation to the day room?
Like 5 seconds, 5
Oh. And did you encounter prisoner Swanigan, the defendant, at that point in time?
Yes, it did.
And did you notice anything unusual about his, in the vicinity of his person?
Yeah, right below his feet, there was a prisoner made weapon with an arm's length.
Approach the witness, Your Honor.
Yes.
Oh, so I'm showing you what's been marked as People's Proposed One. Do you recognize that?
I do.
Okay, what is it?
There's a prisoner made weapon with a handle formed with a rubber glove.
Okay, in this instance, it's not the weapon itself, it's a photograph.
Yes,
Did you take that photograph?
I did.
And does that photograph accurately reflect the condition and the weapon as you observed it when you seized it?
It does.
Move for admission.
Would there any objection?
No, Your Honor, no objection.
So for purposes of today's exam only, I'll be removed. When you terminated, or when the incident involving the defendant and the other prisoner was terminated, did you have occasion to see if ever, to see if there was any injuries on the victim?
It appears that prisoner Stoner had maybe a few scratches around the head in that area.
In your experience, would those have been consistent with the use of a weapon of this nature?
Correct.
Counsel witness.
Officer Newbecker, how long have you been a corrections officer?
About 2.5 years.
And you broke up this fight, is that correct?
Correct.
And when you gave verbal commands, Mr. Swanigan stopped immediately, isn't that right?
That's correct.
You wrote a report in this incident, correct? And that report was true and accurate?
Mhm. Correct.
All of the facts were in that report?
Yes.
So just a few minutes ago, you stated that Mr. Swanigan threw some closed fists at prisoner Stoner's head, is that correct? Or at prisoner Stoner, I guess.
Yes.
But you also just stated that you saw stabbing motions from Mr. Swanigan?
Correct.
Why didn't you put that in your report?
I said close fist strikes.
But you didn't say stabbing motion, correct? You can review your report if you need to.
Upward stabbing like motion is what I used in the report.
Can you point to which report you're talking about?
My misconduct report that I have written.
Unless it's the.
I have a copy.
Your Honor, if we could approach so we could see what his misconduct report is.
Didn't,
No.
the reason why that was turned over to,
I can see if I have it, Your Honor. Traditionally, they are turned over.
We can just take a brief adjournment to see if he has it, Your Honor, because I don't have that. What I have is a summary from this report. It's a summary of the incident report, but clearly not the entire report.
all right.
I'll have the answer.
Oh, I'll just give her a copy of it so she can review it. Would you have any of these? She looked at yours. Right, that saved a lot of time. Apparently, possibly.
Is this the entirety of the misconduct report?
Yes, besides the 4 copies that originally came.
Oh,
just a copy
It's
of
just the
first
one page?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. You can proceed, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead.
So, Officer, you put in your report that he had a clenched right fist and he was punching in an upward stabbing like motion, correct? But you did not see a weapon in his hand during that time, isn't that right?
Appeared to be something in his hands that I could not quite understand.
So you did not see a weapon in his hand, correct?
Correct.
Is there any follow-up reports to this incident other than this?
Just the summary and then the ticket I've written, that's all I would know.
If there wouldn't be a follow-up report for if there was a hearing on this matter?
Not that I'm aware of.
If there was a hearing done in this matter, who would have done it?
The hearings investigator.
And who was the hearings investigator?
I'm not sure who would be right now, because we just have a new one right now. We have a hearings investigator White right now, but I'm not sure who was at that time.
Has hearing investigator White been there a while?
Yeah, he just got that position.
Just one moment. Are there any female hearing investigators?
Elements, Your Honor?
No, or ask a question.
I believe so.
And what is there only one?
I'm not sure, I don't really have contact with them.
If there was a follow-up hearing with the hearing investigator, would you know about it? If
No.
you were involved in this incident?
If they called me to it, but they didn't.
Was there any fingerprint testing done on the weapon?
I don't believe so, I'm not sure. Not aware.
Because you found the weapon under Mr. Stone, isn't that right?
Within arm's length of both of them.
There was video surveillance in the game room that day, correct?
Correct.
And that video surveillance would have been playing at that time?
Yes.
Your Honor, I sent my logbook back for the HDMI cord, but he is not back yet. Would you prefer we wait for that, or if I show
the MDOC agent my computer. I obviously would make it available for Mr. Van Norman. It's the surveillance video provided with the discovery.
Is it all right if we just utilize what she has of their computer? It's okay with me since.
There it is. Would you?
Well, by the time it takes to look it up, let's just do this.
Sorry,
I'll huddle around it like a fireplace.
exactly. We'd be so close to you when I'm questioning you. But this would be the game room in the prison, is that correct?
Correct.
And this would be what the game room looked like during this situation?
Correct, because, correct.
So I'm gonna start to play this. And you let me know to stop when you pick up the weapon, okay? Or you can just point out when you pick up the weapon. Yes, I should pause for just a moment. For clarification purposes, the person in the pink hat, that's prisoner Stone, correct?
I'm not sure, I don't want to see his face.
Would that be where you
That's
pick up
when
the
I pick
weapon? So you pick up the weapon under prisoner Stone, correct?
It would appear so.
And then by the time you pick up the weapon, prisoner Swanigan's already up against the wall, isn't that right?
Correct.
Do you know prisoner Stone well?
No.
Do you interact with him at all?
I guess when I worked in 500 unit, I was a floater.
Does he usually wear that pink hat? So I want to play it for you again, but I would like to play it in what I call dinosaur mode because it's real slow. It's about 1/8 of a speed, okay? And it's going to go slow in frame. You see Mr. Swanigan come up. I want you to point out to me where you see Mr. Swanigan with possession of a weapon.
Here's where there's something in this.
It appears there's something in his hand with. Is that fair?
Where do you see it? Where do you want to show it?
So. Right, and his backswing right there. Right there. I don't see a weapon. You see a weapon there?
Objection, testimony.
Do you see a weapon there?
Objection,
Yeah,
testimony.
no, I agree. Just ask the question.
Do you see a weapon there, officer?
It appears to be something in his hands.
That's not my question, officer.
It's a reasonable answer to the question.
Well, no, I just, if he knows, if he doesn't, so.
You stated that you noticed that prisoner Stoner had some wounds on his neck.
Correct.
Why didn't you put that in your report?
Would be an injury report.
Oh, so there is another report.
Says in the summary. Injury reports completed by registered nurse Chastity Gilbert.
I don't have the injury report either, Your Honor.
Why is the prosecution not in receipt of all the reports?
I don't know that they're not very, and outstanding. I don't think he's being charged with an assault of crime, GPH.
But any reports that are in the possession regarding this case of the state, prosecutor is supposed to be responsible for.
That's correct, Your Honor, but I'm not certain that it was ever tendered to us, and again,
Well, it doesn't matter whether it's tended, you be responsible for it. Well, if it was in the summary, indicated in the summary, then there's some indication that it does exist.
he can't speak as to why it's in or dead, or what's not.
Your Honor, if there's a report tied to the case, I mean, I don't blame Mr. Van Norman for not having it, but Mr. Van Norman is responsible for getting me any and all discovery that has to do with the case. Your Honor, if the court is open to it, I wouldn't mind finishing my questioning to leave this open to receive more reports. I recognize that MDOT and my client made their way in here today. I don't want to waste anybody's time.
Yep, no, if you want to go ahead.
Just to clarify, this weapon was not found on Mr. Swanigan, is that right?
It was not found on Mr. Swanigan.
And actually, you wrote in your report that the origin of the weapon is unknown, isn't that right?
I didn't write the summary report.
You didn't write the summary report?
That would be done by lieutenant or sergeant. The
Who's the-
ticket, I wrote the ticket report. Misconduct report.
Who would have written the incident report?
Whoever was supervisor on shift that day.
You said both prisoners refused medical treatment?
I wouldn't know, I wasn't healthcare.
You saw the weapon, isn't that correct?
Saw a weapon on the ground.
What kind of weapon was it?
Prisoner made weapons.
What is it, what does it look like?
Appeared to be a rubber glove as a handle with some rubber bands, and then it looked like it might have been a piece of a fence.
It's like a kind of a thick, long, but thin. Yes, yeah. Maybe half an inch wide, if that, and long metal, if that, okay. How would you describe injuries like that from a weapon like that?
Use of scratches.
Not holes?
I did not see holes or see the nurse report, so.
From your experience as an MDOC officer, if somebody is stabbed with a weapon like that, they would have holes, correct?
Depends
That's
on.
speculation.
Sustained.
So you stated that Mr. Swanigan had closed fists during the fight, correct?
This is what I used.
Then once you broke up the fight, his hands were visible the entire time?
Right when he gave up, when I entered the ring, yes, his hands were visible.
And then just to clarify, you found the weapon under Mr. Stoner, correct?
Well, that was where Mr. Swanigan was standing.
Mr. Swanigan was already up against the wall at that time, right?
It was right where he was standing,
And Mr. Stoner was rolled over on the ground on his stomach,
on the side.
on the side, okay. And then the weapon, when you picked it up, was under prisoner Stoner, correct?
It was near both of them.
Again, Mr. Swanigan was up against the wall at that time.
That is a different time of the.
At the time you picked up the weapon,
At the time I picked up the weapon, yes.
Mr. Stoner was on top of that weapon, correct?
I wouldn't say on top of it.
He was rolled over to a point you had to reach over him to pick it up, isn't that right?
I didn't want to stand directly on top of him to pick it up, so I leaned over.
So you leaned over prisoner Stoner to pick it up?
Correct.
Okay. Mr. Swanigan was already up against the wall?
At that time.
Okay. And nobody interviewed Mr. Swanigan after this, right?
I'm sure when they read the ticket.
You didn't interview Mr. Swanigan?
Nope, I was still in 500 unit.
Okay, you didn't interview Mr. Stoner?
Nope,
You never followed up on this after this, correct? Somebody else did?
nope, but the supervisor was.
Your Honor, I don't have any more questions for this witness, but I'd be seeking an adjournment to call additional witnesses and for more discovery in this matter.
I think I have some redirect.
Yep.
Thank you.
Sorry. Thanks.
Just so we watched the video on this together.
Correct.
The victim, prisoner Stone, was in the game, correct? It was this gentleman the defendant that entered the game, correct?
Correct.
And it was this gentleman who made the lunge or assault, if you will, toward prisoner Stone, correct? Did you observe prisoner Stone make any assaultive movements on this gentleman?
No, he put his hands above his head.
And as I video, did it depict, what if anything did it depict of prisoner Stone holding a weapon or swinging a weapon or trying to stab this defendant?
Looked like he was trying to protect his head and neck area.
Okay. And what did it depict with respect to this defendant?
What I said was the upward stabbing like motion.
Okay. And now at that point is when you intervened, or shortly thereafter, and put this defendant against the other wall.
Correct, I separated them.
Okay. And the weapon, we've heard it was under the victim. Did you have to roll the victim over?
No.
Okay. Did you have to move the victim to access the weapon that you seized?
No.
And it was seized in the immediate vicinity of the fight where this defendant was standing, swinging his fist in what appeared to you to be a stabbing action, correct? Yes, it wasn't you.
Let me ask just one more question, Your Honor.
Sure.
How often do prisoners wear hats on a regular basis like that?
Relevance?
I think it's highly relevant to the situation because the other prisoner had a hat on, Your Honor. And that's a very concealable place for a weapon of this size.
Oh, I see prisoners wearing hats all the time.
How often do you check the hats for weapons?
Whenever we do shakedowns on them.
When was the last time there was a shakedown on prisoner Stone?
Couldn't tell you.
Thank you. No further questions right now, Your Honor.
Nothing. All right. No further proofs, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, officer. Thank you. Any Cruz?
Not from defense, Your Honor. But if Your Honor is considering buying over, we'd be asking for an adjournment at this time to get more of the relevant documents that were testified to today, as well as the relevant hearing investigator and supervisor, Your Honor. There needs to be further investigation deeply into this file.
I'm kind of lost. No further proofs unless I move to bind over, then we want an adjournment.
Oh, I don't know. I'm sorry if I may have missed something since I'm pushing 60. Did we miss venue?
Apologize. I thought I asked the question if the facility was located in Saginaw County. If I may reopen proofs for that very limited purpose, I will. You're right. I certainly can.
We did not do them.
How about this? Well, get all discovery, I'm gonna dismiss, fail to establish venue, and then if you wanna reissue, you can reissue after all the reports have been indicated, all the necessary evidence is exchanged with the people, so the case gets on the right train track. Thank you, have a pleasant day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, DLC, have a safe trip back.
You want to go grab the and then
You're funny, thank you. I guess I'm taking all of that, but,
it's your pen back.
thank you, I got it. So if this gets reissued, I'll get it.
I gotta keep
Come
this
see
phone
you,
clear.
so we can have some time to talk about it. But I am, if it gets reissued, try to figure out when your officer and all that stuff. Write a letter.
Judge, I need a.
Wonderful. Okay.
Is this gonna take a minute?